Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Kwon fought Miguel during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 3? So in this timeline, the Seikai Taikai brawl would still happen. Kwon would still be attacking Robbie, and Sam would still want to help him, so Kwon would still attack Sam. Axel would still see this, and he would still get mad, so Axel would still want to go after Kwon, and those events would stay the same. Axel and Kwon would still fight, and he would still knock Kwon into the camera. Kwon would still get mad, and this is when he would still see the knife. So much like in the original timeline, Kwon would still grab the knife, and he would still want to go after Axel. Axel and Kwon would continue to fight, and he would still be doing a flying tornado kick, but Axel would still sweep Kwon's leg, so Kwon would still fall on the knife. But in this timeline, the stab wouldn't be lethal, so Kwon would survive, everyone would be shocked, and they would stop fighting. The Seikai Taika would still be cancelled, and Kwon would be rushed to the hospital. Those events would carry on. Terry Silver would still want the Seikai Taika to continue, so Terry Silver would still want to convince Gunther to resume the Seikai Taikai. So in this timeline, the Seikai Taikai would resume a lot earlier. Master Kim Sung-young would still want his dojang to go back to the Seikai Taikai. Kwon would be almost fully recovered from his injury, and he would want to fight. Master Kim would tell Kwon that Kane's beaten him before, and that he will not beat him again. So Master Kim Sung-young and Sensei Kim would train Kwon, and they would still teach him the secret technique, and they would push Kwon to his limits. In this timeline, Kreese wouldn't be redeemed, and he would also help train Kwon. So in this timeline, Sensei Kim wouldn't kill her grandfather, and those events would carry on. The Seikai Taikai will still resume in the valley, so Dimitri and Hako help Robbie train, and in this timeline, Robbie wouldn't want to fight Axel. He would say that he's already had his chance to be captain, and he would want to offer Miguel the captain spot. Miguel would hesitate, and he would be honored. So in this timeline, Miguel would be the Yumi Auto captain. Those events would carry on. Kreese would still arrive in the valley, and he would want to talk to Tori, and Kreese would still want Tori to compete for Cobra Kai, so Tori would still rejoin Cobra Kai in this timeline. So Kwon and the rest of the Cobra Kais would still arrive in the valley, and he would still want to mess with Robbie, but Kwon would be surprised that Robbie was no longer captain, and he would make fun of Robbie, and a rivalry between Kwon and Miguel would start to form, and those events would carry on. Gunther would announce that Miguel would be the Yomi Auto captain. Eventually, the Seikai Taika would resume. Axel would fight Miguel. Miguel would be fighting with offense, and he would still get 5 points, so the first round would end. And during the second round, Axel would land some points on Miguel, and he would still get a knockdown. The third round would be about to begin. Sensei would still tell Axel that Miguel's spine had been broken before, and if targeted correctly, it can be broken again. So he would want Axel to break Miguel's spine. Those events would continue. The final round would begin. Miguel would continue fighting Axel, and much like in the original timeline, Axel would choose not to injure Miguel, so the fight would continue. Miguel would still get more points, and he would still get a knockdown, so Miguel would still beat Axel in this timeline. Everyone in the crowd would cheer, and Miyamoto would celebrate. Sensei would be mad that Axel lost, and he would still tell him that he was ashamed to be a sensei, but in this timeline, Axel wouldn't stand up to Wolf. Those events would continue. The girls' semifinals would begin. Sam and Tori would have another rematch, and they would both be using a combination of offense and defense, and they would be evenly matched. Both Miyamoto and Cobra Kai would get many points, but in the end, Tori would defeat Sam, and she would get the upper hand. Tori and Zara would fight, but Zara would be fighting dirty and with aggression, and the match would be closer in this timeline, and Tori wouldn't get as many points against Zara, but much like in the original timeline, Tori would still defeat Zara, and she would be the girls' world champion. The boys' finals would begin. Kwon would fight Miguel in the finals. Kwon would be fighting with offense and aggression, but Miguel would be fighting with offense, and he would score a couple points in the first round. Kreese would want Kwon to show no mercy, and he would remind Kwon of what Master Kim taught him, and during the second round, Kwon would continue fighting Miguel, and he would continue fighting with aggression, and Kwon would start to get even angrier. Eventually, Kwon would see an opening to use a secret technique, so Kwon would start to use the move. Miguel would be caught off guard, and he would scream in pain. Miguel wouldn't be able to continue, and he would be sent to the medic, so it would be considered a knockout. So in this timeline, Kwon would defeat Miguel, and he would be the boys' world champion. Tori would see how Kwon had fought dirty, so she wouldn't want anything to do with Cobra Kai anymore, so Tori would leave Cobra Kai. The Iron Dragons would still win by overall points, and those events would carry on. Even though Miyamoto lost, Miyamoto would remain open, and things would be a lot more peaceful in the valley. Kwon and the rest of the Cobra Kais would go back to Korea, and Kwon would continue his training at Master Kim's dojang, and they will start training for the next Saikai Taikai. And that is where I'm gonna end this what if. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Kwon fought Miguel in the finals during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.